Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name is Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are Good Rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's a Good Rookie Show.
Yep.
Yep. What's going on, y'all? As you know, we are your hosts, the Good Rookies, coming live and direct from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. And we always bring to y'all the hottest topics in sports and culture. And Faheem, before we get into our great topics today, I got to ask you a question that's been running around. There's been a debate, like avid debate, Faheem. And I don't know if you know this, but Lyles, he won 100 meters, 200 meters, 3 golds, right? He made a comment, okay, around around his biggest pet peeve, or one of, I don't want to misquote him, but when NBA players call themselves the world champions. Now, Faheem, all week I was itching at the butt. I'm like, I wonder how Faheem thought, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna ask him on the podcast. Faheem, people got backlash. We had Damian Lillard, Drake, Kevin, like everyone had an opinion on this, Faheem. What's your thoughts? Are the NBA champs world champions, or are they champions national? Like, your thoughts on this entire dilemma? You got it, bro.
So I think Noah Lyles, he's not wrong. I like what he said. I know he's trying to be funny. But think about it. Who's coming from? It's coming from someone who actually wears his country on his chest. He actually does represent his country. So to hear him say that, I mean, well, he wears it on his chest, and the National Basketball Players Association players do not, unless they're playing for their country. If they're paying for Team USA, then they can say that. But I mean, I happen to think the backlash from the NBA players, I don't. I think they should just they shouldn't comment, actually, because I think he has a point. What do you think?
That's okay. So we're on the same wavelength, right? And I
We're
think
not, or
this
we
is
are?
something. No, we are. This is
Oh, okay,
called,
okay, okay.
Faheem, semantics. An example of semantics. Okay.
Mm.
Yes, the NBA perhaps most likely do have probably a lot of talented players. I think starting five in the NBA are probably the best in the world. The bench players, I'm not so confident. Like, people think, like, to be respectfully, not all the benches in the NBA are that great. And I can't say every bench roster, Faheem, I mean, bench guys, not rotational guys, after 1 through 8, everyone like 9 through 15, I don't know if they're the best in the world. So to me, you may have the best talent and the best overall talent in the league of basketball in the world, but you're still winning the championship for the NBA with one team in Canada. And some of y'all don't like us in Canada to have a team in Canada. Some of y'all think it's an issue to have a team in Canada, first of all. So yes, you may have the best talent in the world, but when you win a championship, you're not world champions. World champions are those who participate in the governing body of the world basketball. That's FIBA. Okay. So if you want to be a world champion, play in FIBA, win that, play in the Olympics, win that, then you are a world champion. But winning in the NBA doesn't mean you're automatically world champion, even though you have one of the best talent. Yes, that's great, but it doesn't mean you're a world champion. So I think it's semantics here, right? I think the players are like, oh, we're the best in the world. You are the best in the world, but when you win, you're not a world champion. You are a national NBA champion. But some of those guys who commented for him, they played on the Olympic team. They played. So yes, you are a world champion, but automatically the NBA, and again, guys, America, you're not the center of the world. You guys used to be, not anymore. So the world is much bigger, right? It's much larger than America. I think even the map have y'all much bigger than you actually are. So enough respect to my Americans, you know I love y'all, but again, it's all semantic. In every international league, NBL, CEBL, NBA, they all follow the FIBA. FIBA is world champion. Okay. I don't think a lot of basketball fans understand what FIBA does and the governing body and how they kind of manage like all that stuff. They think the NBA is the pinnacle, but FIBA is above everybody. Like, they're the world global governing body for basketball. So I just think that a lot of basketball fans forget that, right? But anyway,
Mm,
I thought it was funny because he brought it up in a press conference. I'm like, bruh,
mm,
bring it up, amongst friends, not publicly in front of the world, but hey, here we are talking about the good
right.
Ricky. So,
So you mentioned FIBA. I want to piggyback real quick. So FIBA,
mhm.
when you win the FIBA basketball, it's called the FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Yes,
So it's actually World Cup, like the world is in the championship for a reason, right?
yes,
So the NBA has world, but I think this, Adam Silver, everything happens for a reason.
hmm,
They're having the midseason tournament to do something for the league. Perhaps even this might even spark a conversation to say maybe it would be nice to have a tournament with the best of the NBA, the best of Spain, the best of Italy, the best of all the
agreed.
different
France,
leagues
all the
around,
countries, yeah,
and then actually have like a world champion. Like who knows?
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see where we go with that.
agreed.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Nelly J, the NFL, National Football League, has announced their most valuable franchises. I'll go through this quickly because I do have some that I want to touch upon real quickly. Get your feedback since
Hmm.
football is up your lane. Okay, so here we go. Number one, Dallas Cowboys. Two, New York Giants. Three, LA Rams. Four, New England Patriots. Five, San Francisco 49ers. Six, New York Jets. Seven, Washington Commanders. Eight, Chicago Bears. Nine, Philadelphia Eagles. And 10, Oakland Raiders.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
still in Oakland?
Pardon me?
Raiders in Oakland?
No, they're Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah. Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nelly J.
Yeah, so no surprise there. These have been consistent. Giants 1, 2, the Rams being number 3. I think that one I was like, oh wow, the Rams have been that valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, you know what I mean? Like that's interesting to me, to be honest. Um, I would say the Pats, obviously, like they had a dynasty. The 49ers, their fans are from like time, right? They've always been a top 5 franchise. Now, get into the Jets. New York's a big market, Jersey, a big market, Northeast is a big market. Washington Commanders, they've always been a very viable franchise. And Faheem, I'm not surprised because they haven't upgraded their stadium for how long, you know what I'm saying? Their team was officially sold this year or in July. So them being top 7, I think there. Chicago Bears and Philly, they have rich football history, right? So for me, I mean, last year they had a 3-14 record, but they're still a top 8. You know what I'm saying? So like watching like the top 5, I mean, Dallas has had, winning records, right? Giants had a winning record last year. Rams, they won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but last year they didn't do so hot, right? Had injuries and so forth. Patriots, they were winners. 49ers, they've been winners. The Jets, how? You know what I'm saying? That's market. And then Commanders, they missed the playoffs slightly because remember the NFC East was just tight between the Eagles. But what I find interesting for him is that looking at the top 10, right? They have they have Philly, they have the Giants, they have the Cowboys. They're all NFC East teams. They're all in the same division, right? So that division is literally has the most value. All 4 of their teams for him are in the top 10. All 4.
Wow.
No other division has that. So the NFC East, I find it quite interesting that all their teams are top 10 most valued franchise, and the fact that they have a lot of rich history. So is that a coincidence, do you think? Or do you think that's just a happy, surprise that 4 out of the 10 are in the same division? Your thoughts, Fahim?
Oh, in regards to the division, well, these divisions haven't changed in they've been together for like many years, right? The divisions, they don't really flip
Yeah.
around divisions, right? Like,
So I wonder if it's a rivalry they've created in that division, because we all know Dallas Cowboys, when they play in Washington, Cowboy fans travel, right? So who knows? But anyway, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
so what's the value of a team? It goes to show in basketball how I brought this up before. I'll keep bringing it up because Golden State was never a destination until they started winning, right? Now Golden State is like one of the most valuable franchises. Other dynamics outside of winning, but where they're located, etc. But I kind of look at the Rams. You know, to see their top three is kind of very surprising. Now they won, so I guess it's going to help them. The biggest surprise on this list for me is the Jets. I understand. I guess we'll call it the Aaron Rodgers effect, but
No. Remember, Aaron Rodgers got there after this list came out. He just got there
mm,
like this year. They've been a
okay,
top 10
so
franchise for a while. But remember,
okay,
like the thing about NFL fans that aren't NBA fans travel. NBA fans are not loyal to teams, they're loyal to players. Whereas in the NFL, these fans grow up liking a team, like from parent to child, like it continues on, right? So that's why like winning in the NFL, does it affect value? Not really, because Dallas hasn't won anything since when? Like the 90s? Dallas have won, but they still
mhm,
have the biggest fan base. You know what I'm saying? So I think the NFL is a different, the fans are quite different in how they support their teams. You really see
mhm,
NFL fans jump from team to team based on a player, right? Fans of the NFL are fans of that team, like Steelers fans are Steelers fans. They do not
mhm.
change for nobody. You know
Right,
what I
yeah,
mean? So
true.
it's just a different, I think it's just the NFL, they did a really good job in marketing and nurturing their fan base and keeping them loyal to that brand and not to the player. Like you follow the team more than the actual player itself. For those avid ones, they follow players and teams and fantasy, but a lot of times fans are following their team and that's it, no one
Right,
else, right?
right.
So it's a different type of approach, I would say. That's why I
Good
think
point.
the NBA wants to build that type of loyalty amongst their fan bases, but it's hard, right? Because
Hmm.
basketball fans to me are like newer fans. Like basketball fans are like newer to me. Not all, but a lot of the new ones are pretty new. Like they don't
Hmm.
know about what happened back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So
Good point. Um, is there a team on the come up that you think might be that's not on this list that you think has potential for reaching this list?
of course the Chiefs, and I would say the Bengals. Those two teams. I think, but actually no, Bengals no because Cincinnati, their location. But I think the Chiefs,
Mm.
I think they can figure out, I think they can be a top um like team if especially with Mahomes. I've I've seen fans jump to the Mahomes train. Not all, but I've seen it. And I think he might influence a new generation of fans coming up as well. So yeah, like I definitely do think that the Chiefs can be a come up. Um I'm also thinking because right now, I'm looking at the list now. They're saying that Denver was a top 10. They dropped a couple, but Miami and Seattle are moving up as well. Those two teams have moved up 4 spots in the last couple years, and Seattle 2 spots since last year. So but the Chiefs are number 23 in value, right? They got a lot to move up. But it seems like
Wow.
Miami Dolphins are moving up, Seattle. So, I would say if the Chiefs are 23rd now, I would say they could probably become maybe a top, maybe no, probably a top 20 team soon, right? But Miami moving up by 4 spots, that's crazy. That's a lot, man. So congrats to them. Sorry, that's from 21 to 2022 they moved up. So I'm curious to see what is going to be now for these teams. But yeah, it should be interesting to see what the value becomes as time goes on. So looking from year to year from 2012, like in 2012, Dallas, the Cowboys was valued at 2.3 billion. And then now they're at 9 billion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Rams have been the Rams, to your point, Faheem, they weren't even top three back in 2012. Now they're top three, right? Their jump came from 2017. No, from 2015, they jumped, right? Up to the spot. So yeah, the trends are there. So, but I'm actually impressed that Texans have had their value jumped up a lot. Dolphins, Seattle, the Packers, right? With of course Rodgers there. So even the Steelers, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm curious to see which team can crack the top 10 next year. That'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
that's that's definitely a team that I'm surprised is not as this as the Steelers. I don't know. Obviously,
Yes,
it could be the circles I'm in, but I do know a lot of die-hard Steelers fans.
me too.
Legacy. Uh, so, hmm,
Me too,
which is
man.
which is kind of odd because they don't happen to a lot of die-hard uh, New York Jets fans. Shout out to Darrell. He's the only one in life that I've ever
No,
heard
you don't. No, you know
say
Kevin
that he
Pryor. He's
likes
one
the
too.
The Jets.
You know Kevin Pryor.
Is he? Why didn't I
He's
know
been a
that
Jets
Kevin Pryor?
fan.
Oh yes, you're
Yeah.
right. All right, yeah. I forgot
I
about
know
Kevin
few.
Pryor.
I know
Okay,
few Jets
right.
fans. I know a few Jets fans
Really?
actually.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not as rare as you think. You
okay.
know what I mean? It really not rare as you think.
Mhm.
But yeah, there are a couple. Hmm.
All right. Yeah, they would be. I guess the Jets would be like the Mets in New York. There's like the
Yes.
Yankees, and then there's the Mets,
Well,
and
like New
there's
Jersey
there's the
influence,
Giants.
right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they're kind of like there's the big high
The
profile New
Jets.
York team, and then there's the little brother New York team.
Yep, it's like,
So
well, it's all based on history of when they moved there, right? But like the
yeah.
Jets, the Mets, and of course the Nets. Don't hold on. Jets, Mets, Nets. Is that a
I
coincidence for you? Why do all those
don't know. I've
secondary
noticed
teams
it
in New
before,
York,
but
huh?
yeah. Yeah,
Jets,
I've noticed
Mets,
that before.
Nets.
Yeah, I don't know if it's yeah,
What
yeah,
the hell? No,
yeah.
no, they're trolling us in New York, yo. Why are all three teams rhyming, Fahim? Jets, Mets, Nets.
That's and Islanders because I
Oh,
guess
okay.
the New York
Yeah. So
Rangers are
Islanders
the
is not
original
a part. It's
six.
hockey, whatever. They don't care about hockey.
Yeah,
I'm joking. I'm
yeah.
joking. They should be change their name to like, I don't know, Tats or something. Tats. It's a rhyme with all the other franchises in New York. That's funny.
All right. So Nelly J, let's get to for the culture.
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight, y'all, something that I saw on social media. I want to big up the page because, like, they actually were the ones that brought this to my attention. And I was like, no freaking way. So, Fahim, this is interesting. The Baltimore Ravens, okay? Now, big up, it's called the Black Man Can. So at the Black Man Can, love that name on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow them as well. But they put a post for him on August 23rd. And I was like, no way. So they posted that for the first time in NFL history, an NFL team, the Baltimore Ravens, has an entirely Black quarterback group. Josh Johnson, Lamar Jackson, Anthony Brown, and Tyler Huntley. And the Black quarterback coaches are T. Martin and Kerry Dixon. What? Fahim, when I saw this, I was like we said, right? It wasn't really reported.
Wow.
There's no highlight on it, but I really wanted to talk about it because I was like, this is really cool. Like something that we definitely want to kind of take time to kind of recognize and shout out because we know Fahim, we're watching football for decades now. I don't want to, age us, but we're seasoned, right? And the fact that we are living in a time where a quarterback group is all Black quarterbacks and the coaches are Black. Another person I want to pick up, Nate Cam. He commented, which I didn't notice as well, that the Baltimore Ravens hired Ozzie Newsome. That was the league's first Black GM in 1996 for him. Currently, the team president is Black, the QB coaches is Black, and all 4 QBs on the roster are Black. Ozzie Newsome is still in the building as well. So, Fahim, the Baltimore Ravens are blackity black, black, black. And if I wasn't Broncos fans, I would have jumped ship, but I'm not going to. But Fahim, what's your thoughts on like for real? What's your thoughts on the Baltimore Ravens really for the culture? Like they paid a Black quarterback with no agent. They did all these things for him. I just think that is something that we really want to shout out and really support. So give me your feedback for him on this.
Wow, hi Ron. So Baltimore itself, Baltimore, Maryland. When I think of Baltimore, what comes to mind is The
The Wire.
Wire. The Wire.
I knew it.
So I find it's just very fitting that Baltimore went down this route. Like you said, lockdown. I want to say a Black quarterback, but like an amazing quarterback. So locked him down. It's nice that I just wonder how much of an influence having Lamar Jackson has on these decisions to keep it black all the way through. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at, it seems like Ozzie Newsome, he was the
Mhm.
GM, and so I got to fact check because comments are
Yeah.
cute,
Okay.
but I got to fact check. So he
No. No.
became the GM in '02 and
Mhm.
held the position through to 2018, and now he's the team's executive vice president. So
Okay.
having someone of color
Hmm.
working in the front office, right? That influences decision making, influences draft capital, influences who do we keep, who do we go. And again, he's also a two-time Hall of Famer as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, that him being involved there, that's what influence does, right? Having people that are black in these rooms that a lot of us will never be in can influence change. It can influence equality in making decisions as who's the best talent for this team. So yeah, I mean, could it be him? Could it be someone else? Who knows? What if that team is just open to we want to give everyone who's best at this position to do so? Because typically for him, a lot of the backup quarterbacks aren't that good. Like they should not be, but because people like them, come on, man. The third or fourth string quarterbacks aren't ever going to typically see the field, right? Most likely. Third or fourth string quarterbacks typically are people that are locker room guys, right? They're guys who support the quarterback. They're cool to work with. The coaches love them. You know what I'm saying, Fahim? So a bit of nepotism, a little bit of bias in who those are. So the
Hmm.
fact that they have all four as black quarterbacks is unheard of. But to your point, there's someone in there that is allowing it to happen, right? And so I'm for it for sure. I'm
Hmm.
for it for
Hmm.
sure.
And we've come such a long ways, black quarterbacks wasn't allowed, say, 3 or 4 decades ago,
Mm-hmm.
where they didn't want black people in that position, just do a lot of stereotypes. So it's nice to see that there's a team that's committed to it all the way through, not just making sure that the quarterback, because think about it, a quarterback, it's a very headsy position, right? But then who the quarterback reports to also, is a black person. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's nice to see that there's just different verticals that you're having black people in. So, I mean, uh, as you know, with football, I've fallen way back. I'm a casual football, but I like Lamar Jackson anyway. I think he's one of the most entertaining players in the league, so I'll
Yes.
tune in for him. But now seeing the commitment that Baltimore has uh, to black people,
Yeah, and
it's an added
also I
plus. It's
do
an
want to
added
big up.
plus.
Sorry, what was that for him? You gonna cut
I
off?
was just saying it's an added plus.
Yes, and I do want to big
I was
up
just
their
saying
president.
it's an added plus.
Yeah, I want to pick up their president, who is black, Sashi Brown. He went to Hampton University, which is a HBCU. Hello, um,
Right. Wow.
and he then went to Harvard for law, got law degree there. And he's been a lawyer, but he's the
Wow.
president of Baltimore Ravens, right? So again, big up to the owner there, but they have people in color again influencing in the background. And so, and when you have that, people don't like Lamar, and but understanding now that, this isn't a typical NFL organization, right? How many black presidents are there in the NFL? You know what I'm saying? So this just
Yeah.
shows you that these guys, I think Raiders have one. I think Commanders maybe the president is, but we're seeing more and more. And I think this is what always said is that the NFL is 96% black players. So the front office, why is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm liking the direction it's moving in. And yeah, I mean, this is how history is made. So I definitely wanted to shout out the Baltimore Ravens, the quarterbacks, the group at the Ravens. Again, I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna I'm not gonna act like I am, but I really want to take time to highlight this historic like roster. I feel like, to your point, Fahim, it has not really been talked about a lot amongst the league or amongst sports outlets. So I definitely want to take time to kind of shout it out for
Yeah.
sure.
Good call. Good call. It's great to see. All right. So let's wrap this up with our last segment. That's absurd.
That's absurd, Fahim, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
Spanish football. So the Women's World Cup champions, after winning, the president of the Spanish national team was congratulating them after they won, and he had kissed Jenni Hermoso, who's their not, is a team captain, but a player for the team, kissed her on the lips, and it was from her standpoint unconsensual, but he's saying it was a consensual kiss.
Absurd. The way he grips up, listen, the man grips up her head for him, like gripped it, like the picture of him gripping her head and then like pulling it in, like, oh my gosh, like listen, for Faheem, one thing I want to teach, make sure we teach our young boys what consensual is, right? Because this kiss was definitely unwanted. Right. Yo, I felt uncomfortable. Faheem, watching that, I felt like, oh my gosh, like, is this really happening in real life? Really? Like, did he really just do this?
I do have a question. So let's go with this side for a moment. So he's saying it was consensual. Fine. What did she do, and how did she offer consent to him? You know, the story never goes that far. I'd be interested to see what he interpreted that made him think that this is consensual. Go ahead, Nelly J.
It's called I'm a man of power and I can do what I want and take what I want. And if I want to kiss you, I'm going to kiss you, and you're going to take it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a place of ego, right? And the thing about it is that at the end of the day, Faheem, before you kiss anyone, you should always get consent. This is not even like, oh, no. Faheem, this is just a natural thing. Before you kiss someone, you have to get consent. You know what I'm saying? It's just automatic. Yeah. It's not even like he didn't look for it. He didn't ask for it. He just said, I'm a man of power and I will take and kiss what I want to take.
So the odd thing is, if this, say for instance, we're taking, say we've heard of this, but we didn't see the video, right? Mm-hmm. We heard the story. Then it's pretty much his side against her side. And it's kind of public opinion. Maybe they do an investigation.
No, okay, say that again. So he's saying his side against her side, and then what? Like, if we didn't see the kiss?
Oh, I don't know. Like, so if we didn't see the video and we heard that this is happening, it leaves open. Like, we don't know. Like, say, you know what I'm saying? Say.
No, yeah, I agree, but this is something different, right? Like, we saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go to what could have or what no. Like, he did it. We all felt uncomfortable because we know that she never consented. And Faheem, there's a history of this in this organization. Because Faheem, you don't do just because, right? This is something that you've done before, and all of a sudden now, oh shoot, people are saying it's bad. Oh my gosh, right? But Faheem, they've complained about figures in this team for a while, and so when it happened, it was, oh my God, there's been so much controversy around the women's soccer team, around allegations of being poorly treated. And now we see it. Right? Mm-hmm. So I just think that, again, for him to say it was consensual, it just tells me, Faheem, that he has no clue what consent means. Right? So there's something that I think a lot of people didn't even know, was that there was a documentary about the sexism that was occurring within this organization. So in 2021, it was called Breaking the Silence. And it talked about the rampant culture of fear, bigotry, homophobia, and sexism within the Spanish women's soccer league. Wow. And so that's why I think, like, you know, they want to eradicate homosexual and all these things, right? And we talked about the absurd when they asked, I forgot what team it was, the captain, about, was there anyone on the team that's homosexual?
Morocco.
Like, yes, Morocco. So imagine that's happening also in Spanish in their organization. And so they've had, Faheem, with the managers, I'm looking back right now, since 2011, 2011, there's been controversy around
Wow.
the bigotry and just dispute of how players have been treated. So I think the cherry on the cake was this kiss. You know what I'm saying? So the outcry, and I think for those in the world of soccer, women's national soccer team, they're aware of the history of this because the documentary came out and a lot of people did watch it. So watching that documentary and now seeing it, you're like, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. Feel me? And what if she was someone that was homosexual or, you know, bisexual, whatever she was, right? Her business. But what if she was that? And he did it to kind of show, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have no clue what they've done or what has or the history behind their friendship, or if even a friendship that's there. Feel me? So I just think that, you know, it's so absurd that he will call it consent, but consent means the other person said you can do it. And when you watch that kiss, there was no, like, he didn't even ask any questions. He just kissed her, right? And we all knew it wasn't consensual. That's why everyone got so upset and there was an outcry. And, you know, he's resigned. I preferred him being fired on the spot, my opinion, but whatever, you know, and so forth. But to your point, consent is when the other person, if you say, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, can I kiss you right now? Yes, you can. Or sure. But you don't kiss someone without asking. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is like your wife or your husband, or you know, this is like someone literally you work with. Faheem, would you want your coworker kissing you because they're happy about something that happened at work? No. You know what I'm saying? They're coworkers. They're not. It's not like that. Feel me? And it's a work setting. You know what I'm saying? We're not in a private. This is a work setting, bro. Like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just think again, this brings up the whole idea of what consent means. What consent freaking means. That ain't consent.
Right. And that was in front of the world. So it's kind of.
Well, bless her heart, man. And honestly, Faheem, I feel bad for her because I'm like, that can cause PTSD. Like being kissed like that in front of everyone, not wanting it, she can really have an emotional scar, right? And so I hope she does get through this. I hope her teammates, I know I'd be like, yo, any man comes like, yo, you can kiss me or what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can cause someone being like very like standoffish. So I just hope that she's okay. I hope her teammates are okay. And I hope all the girls and women watching it and the boys watching it and men understand why it was not consensual and look up what consent means. So that way we protect each other. Cause I don't listen, Faheem, same way, Faheem. If a woman were to kiss a man like that without consent, Faheem, I'll have the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The same energy. Because I don't think it's fair to just kiss someone because, oh, he's a man. He wants, no. Do you want to kiss you though? That's not cool, right? It goes both ways. So I just think that I hope we all learn what consent means and that your coworkers are not to be kissed like that in front of the world because without consent. No.
I think of the kiss cam, you know, in the basketball game where they have the kiss cam.
Oh,
the people sitting beside each other, and sometimes the people are not together.
They're like, we're not together, yo. It's not us. That's embarrassing too, man. I don't forget the time when one girl with a kiss cam and she was with a guy and she was like, oh, let's kiss. And he was like, nah. And she like hit him and walked off. I was like, damn. I mean, not everyone's about the public display of you know, the PDA. Not everyone's about that.
Yeah, the PDA, right?
You know what I'm saying? So you got to respect it. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Faheem, one day that kiss cam will go wrong and it'll be banned, you know, as if we're moving in that direction now. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, one day it will happen.
Watch yourself.
Watch yourself.
All right. Nelly J, I think it's time. Let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. Well, Faheem, that was a spicy episode. I don't know about you, man. We covered a lot of topics, a lot of spicy topics that I didn't even think that we're going to cover, but it was needed. It was needed, definitely. So, guys, as you know, times we do our shout outs, right? And my shout out this week, man, I have some shout outs. So, first of all, Faheem, I actually have founded a nickname for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yes, Faheem. Nelly J has given him a name. I wanted to trend, so I'm going to say it now on Good Rookies as well. I posted it on social media. Oh, I like that. That's a good name. I'm like, you know what? That is a good name. So SGA will now be officially known as the Maple Reaper. Right? The Maple Reaper. You understand? Because listen, what he's doing in the FIBA World Cup and the last year has been remarkable. It's so smooth. Faheem, he makes basketball look so easy. That's how good he is, right? And how he's playing, he can play like this for a very long time. He's not doing a lot of high impact stuff. Very simple, just quick, just shifty, just, oh man, love it. So the Maple Reaper SGA led the Canada's basketball team to win in the group phases. So they won, they made it past it. Now the dance starts. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Team Canada. And Faheem, just so you know, we spoke about the starting five. As we know, Jamal Murray wasn't going to play. Him and Jokic actually are both resting. You know, they had a very rigorous finals and so for that. But so we're playing one guard, 3 fourths, and a center. That's our starting five. So very innovative, right? The one guard, 3 forward type, you know, offense and defense, but I like it. So let's see how it goes. But I'm liking what we're doing. We're now playing, you know, like 2 guards, 2 forwards. It's 3 forwards and a guard. So, and it's working really well for us. So I'm just happy for Team Canada making it out of the groups and doing well. I also want to pick up Nebraska volleyball. They actually had, Faheem, a volleyball game outside at their football stadium. And the event had 92,000 people attending this Nebraska volleyball game, Faheem, that broke world records for attendance for a women's sporting event. Wow. 92,000 attended. Wow. So big up to Nebraska volleyball for breaking the world record for attendance at a women's sporting event. 92,000 is a lot of people at Memorial Stadium. So big up to them for that historic win, for sure. Nice.
So the Nebraska 90,000, I heard about that just recently. And yeah, that was so with shout out to them. Shout out to women's volleyball, because when I think of, these are college athletes, right?
Yeah, college, yeah.
There's a professional league for women's volleyball, yes, but it always seemed like the more popular version of women's volleyball when it gets professional is beach volleyball.
Agreed.
You know, the league, actually, you know what? Let's take a second here and shout out the actual women's. If you graduate college and you play professional for volleyball, where do you go? At this women professional volleyball. So I'd be interested to see, because that goes to show there's a market for it, you know. Women's
honestly, but how many leagues are there? Because to be honest, I never hear about a league in, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. So they have Athletes Unlimited, and right. it's an indoor women's league, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's about 44 athletes. There isn't that many. I don't know, man. Canada had one in 2017 that was launched. In 2017, never heard about it, but we have one. Their marketing is trash. I never heard about it, y'all. Like, I don't even know y'all even were around. So it's just the marketing. Like, I don't think, like, you probably have to know. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Because it seems like it's not something that it's like, you know, that's like kind of, I play volleyball. I love volleyball. I think it's a great sport. But I think volleyball is more prominent during Olympics. I love Olympics volleyball, right? But I don't really watch it professionally. But again, the sports channels don't even show it at all either. You know what I'm saying? So will it ever blow up like that? I don't think so. I don't think volleyball is a sport that will blow up in like a national or domestic league. But I think globally, though, it's always great to watch it in the Olympics. So
okay, well, shout out to Nebraska volleyball and women's volleyball. Sorry, women's volleyball in general. Also, I'll close my shout outs with big up on your nickname, Sticks. But it's a combination of 2 failed nicknames.
What's the failed one?
Well, there was Maple Jordan, which is what they went with Andrew Wiggins. And then there was Slim Reaper, which was KD.
Who's that?
That came out. KD.
Slim Reaper.
They called him the Slim Reaper.
Yeah.
But that didn't stick. He actually said he didn't like it. I can't blame him. So I like the way you combined 2 failed names and made a big powerful one. Because Maple Reaper, that's a sticker right there. I think you did a good job.
Maple Reaper. Listen, he's different, dog. He's different. And people forget. Listen, and Faheem, typically, like, we haven't had, you know what I mean? Andrew Wiggins is great, but like, I feel like SGA he's a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy that will drop 30 every night and not even hold his breath. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a player like that ever in Canada. I'm trying to think. Like Nash was a point guard, different style, but like SGA is different. Like he will drop 30 on you. He don't care. And so I think that's a different mindset, like that killer mindset. And I don't know about you, Faheem, but I'm watching a lot of OKC games because even Josh Giddey is getting double-doubles right now. Like he's tearing it up in the FIBA World Cup. So Josh Giddey and SGA, like that team is going to be so much fun to watch. Yo, I cannot wait to watch their games.
Chad Holmgren, the kid who was the rookie who was out all season last year, he's coming back. So yeah, definitely, they're going to be a team to watch.
Team's gonna be good. Good team.
Very good.
Good team. Yeah.
All right, Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
All right, y'all. That was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe and tell a friend. Faheem.
So on all platforms, if you're looking for us, you know what it is. It's the Good Rookie Show. Hurry up.